Moving to China, Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in Beijing today for a two-day visit. Putin's visit comes at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping and is the Russian leader's first foreign trip since his re-election in March. It's also Putin's second visit to Beijing in just over 6 months. Both Beijing and Moscow have touted their no-limits friendship, which has grown exponentially since Russia invaded Ukraine in February of 2022. In fact, Xi Jinping often refers to Putin as his old friend. Rolling out the red carpet, Xi Jinping greeted Putin as Moscow and Beijing celebrate 75 years of diplomatic relations. Both leaders aim to deepen cooperation in technology, outer space, nuclear energy, and trade. In fact, Xi Jinping agreed to strengthen bilateral ties and work with Russia to resolve regional and global conflicts, including the ongoing war in Ukraine.
Today's China-Russia relationship is hard-won and deserves to be cherished and cared for by both sides. The stable development of China-Russia relations is not only in line with the fundamental interests of both countries and their peoples, but also conducive to regional and even global peace, stability, and prosperity.
Putin says that despite attempts by other nations to drive a wedge between Russia and China, bilateral relations have thrived in recent years.
Russia and China are truly united by the common goals of national development and ensuring joint prosperity on the principles of mutual respect, good neighborliness, and mutual benefit. It has already been said that over the past 5 years, despite the consequences of the pandemic and despite some actions aimed at restraining our development, some actions on the part of third countries, trade turnover between Russia and China is increasing at a good pace.
Now, Putin's visit to China comes after Moscow launched a major offensive in Ukraine in the northeastern region of Kharkiv. Russian troops have captured at least 7 towns as Ukrainian troops retreat, facing a shortage in manpower and ammunition. Over the last 2 years, Russia has managed to keep its economy afloat despite Western sanctions, all thanks to China. Beijing has increasingly become Moscow's lifeline to support Putin's war chest as bilateral trade reaches almost $230 billion, an increasingly thorny issue for the United States. In fact, President Joe Biden and his team have taken several measures against China, including the recent trade tariffs and economic sanctions for aiding Russia's military. China's tight embrace of Russia poses a major challenge, not just in Ukraine, but even in Europe and throughout Asia. This friendship will certainly be put to the test in the weeks and months ahead. From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.